Good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, July 14th. My name is Abby, and I will be doing a tarot spread for this week. Things to look out for. Obviously, we are right in the middle of Mercury retrograde season. That is going to last probably until the 7th of August, but that's when it comes out of transit. But you will probably still be feeling effects of it until the 15th. Also this week is a partial lunar eclipse. So it is happening during Capricorn season, which makes the eclipse a little bit more serious since Capricorn does tend to be one of the more serious signs. And you need to focus on getting serious about what makes you happy, which can be a little confusing when you're going through Mercury retrograde. So a good way to do that is do what me and my friends call a big think. So write down what's currently making you happy, and if you are just currently striving for those, pat yourself on the back. You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. And if not, I would highly suggest thinking about what you need to change. Mercury retrograde is a great time to think about what you need to change in your life, what's not working, what relationships aren't working, all of that. The sun is currently in Cancer. Obviously, it transits into Leo on Saturday, on the 20th. And this pairing of the moon being in Capricorn and the sun being in Cancer, Cancer is obviously working on emotions. So this is a good time to analyze your emotions. And it's a good time to focus on your personal life. How are you doing? How are you doing as a person? How is your work/life balance? How are you balancing the things that you are doing at work between the things that you do when you get home? Is there a good balance? Is there a bad balance? What do you need to change? So all that stuff is something to take into account this week. The deck I'll be pulling from today is my first deck that I purchased last week. It was $24 on Amazon. It is a very, very, very sought out deck for tarot readers, and it is called the Wild Unknown deck. This is the top of the card holder thingy. So it comes with this beautiful card holder. It has a little ribbon, so you can lift your cards easily out of it instead of scrabbling for them like you would on another deck. The illustrations are gorgeous, you will see later. It's definitely a very good first deck. It has a great guidebook. It gives you all the definitions and ideas of all of the cards. It gives you a shuffling page. It gives you a cutting page. It gives you a few spreads you can try. The card a day, 3-card spread, which is what I'll be doing today. A clarity spread, which is a 4-card reading. Connection spread, which is a 5-card reading. The Celtic Cross spread, which is very common with professional tarot readers. That gives you a better insight to a single problem, but since I'm doing more general spread, I won't be doing that today, and it also gets extremely complicated. So I'm sticking with 1 to 3 card spreads for now until I get really good at them. Then I might do some 10 card spreads on here, but we'll see. And then the year ahead spread, which is a 13 card spread. So it's 1 card for every month, and then the theme of the year. I don't deal in reverse cards, so you won't see reverse cards on here very often, but there is an option to do that, and it does explain in here how to do that, which is good. And then she has like a last thoughts page, and then she gets into the suits and everything. I read through it at first, and I loved it. I was extremely impressed. It helps you understand the major and minor arcana. It gave you a definition of all the suits. Obviously, the reading the cards, like getting readings, what do you need to ask, because there are questions that you can ask tarot cards and questions that you can't because they are just too vague or too general. And then shuffling, cutting, all of that, which is, I explained that earlier. I will be doing a 3-card spread today. I have my notes here so I can write things down. So we are going to be doing an areas of life weekly spread for this week. It'll be work, love life, and your family life, so life at home. These illustrations on these cards have to be the most beautiful ones I've ever seen. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a deck this gorgeous in my life. Also, I'm still getting used to shuffling the cards, so bear with me. So let's think about it. This weekly, what's going on this week? What's going on in your life this week? I am going to be at work a lot this week. I am going to be exercising a lot this week. Obviously the partial lunar eclipse is Tuesday, so I'm going to take some time on Tuesday to make sure that I'm doing everything I want to be doing right now. Mercury retrograde is right now. My boyfriend is going to be getting ready to move down here this week. I will be seeing him next weekend. I'm very excited. So those are some things that you need to think about, focus on this week. Think about what you're doing in your work life. Are you happy? Think about your love life. Think about your family life. Are you where you want to be for this week? This especially pertains to college kids. Me personally, I'm going to be a senior in college, so thinking about where I want to go after this is very crucial, and is partially the why I wanted to get into tarot. So let's think about it. So this week, the sun's going to be into Cancer. Not Cancer. The sun is going to be going into Leo on Saturday/Sunday, depending on whatever you believe in. I have lo-fi music going on in the background to help me focus. Personally, I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but if you want to focus on reading tarot, I'll do a video on how I do it and everything. Anyway, I'm going to draw the cards. I'm going to be working on work, family, and love. Okay, so I took a few minutes, sat with the cards, read them over, thought about them, and they're not bad, which is good. These aren't negative cards, so nothing quote-unquote bad is going to be happening this week, hopefully. But we have the Father of Wands, the Son of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So the Father of Wands ended up in the work category. This is a card that promotes a lot of creativity. This card, if you represent this card, people are very drawn to you. So this week you might be feeling a lot of creative juices flowing in work this week. You might feel very productive. Just make sure that you focus on your goal, hold steady and still, be compassionate to others, don't waver, but overall you're probably coming over a mental block of some sort, which would explain the sudden creativity boost, the Father of Wands, which is extremely helpful, especially during Mercury retrograde when communication is a bust. So this is the Father of Wands card. If you guys can see that, but it's a snake. The lightning, in my mind, it brings a sense of clarity, which is where my creativity comes from. I get very creative when my mind is clear. My mind is bogged down. I have a hard time visualizing things, and since my job, I have to do a lot of art, that is a no-go for me. Having this creative block not exist anymore, at least for this week, and having a lot of creativity begin to flow is going to be extremely helpful for me. So that's the work aspect. The family aspect is the Son of Wands. So that's another snake. So this card, if you represent this card, it means that you are a charmer. It represents adventure, but this week you need to trust your instincts. So with family decisions or, things of that nature, personal life, being at home, you have to remember that perfection is an illusion. Obviously, we want things to be perfect, so we like to blind ourselves to the truth so that we stay happy, and that is a no-go this week. So with the creativity at work, you need to bring that mental clarity back home as well with family issues and personal issues. You will probably be able to say all the right things this week, which is also extremely important in Mercury retrograde. I know that for me, I have a speech issue. I tend to stumble over my words a lot because I talk very fast when I'm really excited about something. So knowing that I will probably be able to say all the right things this week is an extremely reassuring element of this card. And the third and final card is the Ace of Swords. It's a rainbow, a little sword in the middle, some lightning again, more clarity, which is good. This card represents truth and mental clarity. So, as well, that would explain the creativity. This card in general, it represents truth, represents mental clarity. So the clear lightning represents an illumination of the truth. So we just had a huge storm here, and it was kind of during dusk, sort of during the night, and every single time there was a lightning strike, it kind of lit everything up and you could finally see things. And even if it's just for a moment, sometimes a moment of mental clarity is all you need to make a decision. So this is in the love category, which is interesting because the lunar eclipse in Capricorn is focusing on being more serious, which I don't really equate with like romantic relationships. But now that I think about it, it does make sense, because this is a moment where you need to start getting serious about what you want. So this mental clarity this week, it'll definitely help you like make a decision that you've been putting off. It'll help you realize the truth in certain situations, and it'll also help you maybe sit down with your significant other and talk about some issues you've been having. Or it might not even be as serious as that. It could just be maybe you guys have just been a little off with your communication. I know personally, me and my boyfriend I just haven't been understanding what he's saying to me, just because I've just been off, like with the whole Mercury retrograde. I have been having a lot of like muddled thoughts, I guess, during this retrograde. So this card with representing mental clarity is something that I really, really needed in this spread. So that is something to think about. So basically, to sum it all up, you're gonna have a creative impulse this week. You just need to hold steady, keep that thing going. Don't let the Mercury retrograde get to you. With the Son of Wands, make sure that you trust your instincts. When you're alone with yourself, make sure that you know what you're doing, you know that you're on the right path, you know that you're doing something that you like. And if you're not, figure out how you need to change things in order to get to where you want to be. And then the Ace of Swords, mental clarity, which is what I just talked about. You're going to have a lot of clear thoughts this week, which is extremely helpful. Take that mental clarity and understand that that is going to show you where the path you need to go lies. It might not be something where you want to go. It might lead you to a place that you don't really like, but temporary suffering can bring eternal peace. That's something that I've been told over and over again in different ways, but it all means the same thing. Basically, this week, creativity boost. You're gonna say all the right things, so just trust your instincts and make that decision that you've been putting off all damn week or all damn month with the retrograde. You can do this. You can make this decision and you will not regret it. You will have that mental clarity to understand, all right, this is the decision I'm going to make, this is what's going to happen afterwards, and this is what I need to do in order to move on from this moment. So that is the end of the tarot reading for this week. I hope you guys had a kind of eye-opening moment with this. I know I sure did. If you guys want to see another weekly spread, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of 1 to 3 card reading weekly spread things unless someone tells me otherwise. But let me know what you guys want to see. It helps a lot. And and I will hopefully, if all goes well, I will see you next week.